Hey guys, I'm Simeon Panda and welcome to my channel. Okay, so for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I always post training tips and exercises, always. You know, that's one of my main things on Instagram. For those of you that don't follow me, make sure you do. Here's my, somewhere on the screen is my handle. Follow it because you're gonna benefit from it. So on my Instagram, I'm always posting these training videos, and sometimes with the videos, I annotate the anatomy, you know, so I highlight and annotate the anatomy. And the reason I do that is because when you are showing an exercise and you write in the caption what the muscle group that you're targeting is, or the specific muscle in the muscle group, some people still might not have an understanding of what exact muscle they're working. So because of that, I like to highlight the actual muscle, you know, and luckily I'm always quite defined, so it's quite easy to see the muscles working when I'm training. So in these videos, it's quite easy for me to highlight and say, this is the muscle that's being worked. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to highlight. I mean, I've seen in the comments, you guys are always asking, how do you do that? What app is it? Guys, there is no app that highlights your muscles. If there was, it would be awesome because it would be like a quick process and it would be a lot quicker than what I'm about to show you, which doesn't take long, but it's worth doing. So there is no app that highlights the muscles. It's an editing technique that's quite simple if you're proficient with Photoshop and, you know, have some skills with Final Cut Pro. So I'm going to show you that today. But before I start, I want to let you guys know about Skillshare. Now, Skillshare is sponsoring this video. They are awesome because they are a group, an online community of creators like myself and like some of you guys, where it's just videos on design, on business, on absolutely everything. Videos with tips like this one. So I have about 15 email accounts for different businesses, and keeping on top of them all can be very difficult. I found this video, Email Productivity, Work Smarter with Your Inbox by Alexander Samuel, very helpful. Skillshare offers classes designed for real life, so you can learn and grow with short classes that fit your busy routine. I want you guys to go to Skillshare and check it out, and you know, it will help with whatever you're involved in. It can help you learn. Skillshare have actually given me the opportunity to provide you guys with a free unlimited trial for 2 months. So 2 months, you've got unlimited access to Skillshare, which is awesome, you know, and after that, it's only $10. So I really want you guys to check it out after this video, and make sure you sign up because it's going to help you in absolutely anything that you can think of. Make 2020 a year where you explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity with Skillshare's online classes. Let's get started on this video. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is open up the file. I've already got a folder with the video that I'm going to use and the music. I'm going to be using Final Cut Pro. However, when you actually see the technique I'm going to be using to highlight the muscles, you can use that in Adobe Premiere or any other video editing software that you use. So I always film in portrait mode as the size fits perfectly on Instagram, and I will be working with a video resolution of 1080 by 1350. And I'm just going to drop in the video that I filmed. Now, this video was filmed about a week or 2 ago, depending on when this video comes out, and it was me demonstrating a superset of a shoulders exercise targeting both my rear delts and traps. It's a great routine that will really leave your shoulders pumped. Okay, so before I do any editing, I always drop in the music because I like to edit to music. I like the hits to match what's going on in the video. Okay, so there's a few things you need to take into consideration when you are highlighting muscles. Firstly, it does help if the person you are highlighting is lean. I stay lean all year round. It's easy to see the muscles that are working. It's very important because it's going to make things easier when you are highlighting. So I will watch the video through, and then I will find the parts in the video where the muscles that I want to show are fully flexed and in good light. And that's where I will pause it and save that current frame. You're then going to need to adjust the picture to the length that you want to show. For me, I just want the rear delts to flash quite quickly and then for the video to continue on. Okay, this next part that you can see me doing isn't anything to do with highlighting the muscles, but it's me making the video more interesting, more dynamic. I'll do that using slow-mo and speeding up the video in an artistic way. Once the video is edited, you'll see how good it looks. Okay, so we've chosen a frame for the first exercise, and we're now choosing a frame for the second exercise, which is the shrugs. Again, I'm looking for a part in the video that shows the muscles I want to show in the best light and the most defined. Save that current frame and then drop that picture back into the timeline. And something else I like to do with my videos is when the exercise is complete and the muscles are flexed and pumped, I like to do a little slow-mo, showing the viewer what we just worked. Okay, now this is the part that you all came for. I'm sure you all know how to edit videos, but this is the part that you're actually going to learn how to highlight the muscles. Okay, now to highlight the muscles, you can use whatever tool you're most proficient with. I'm going to be using a combination of the polygonal lasso and the magnetic lasso. Okay, so for face pulls, the muscles that I want to highlight are the rear delts. It is essentially a rear delts exercise, so the rear delts is what I want to show more than anything else. I will, of course, show the rest of the deltoids and highlight them, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use colors to show which area is actually being targeted. So I always use red when I'm highlighting muscles, and it's just different shades of red, as I feel that works great on the skin. Now what you can see me doing here is testing out the opacity and the blending options. I normally go with a soft light blend, as it shows both the muscles and the color very well. When you're first marking around the muscles, it doesn't matter if it's not the greatest, because later on you can erase and clean up the shapes. Okay, I'm now going to highlight the medial and anterior deltoids, but I will be using a lower opacity to show the difference between the posterior and the mid and anterior deltoids. Okay, once the muscles are highlighted, you're going to want to use the eraser to clean up the edges to give them a softer look, so it's not sharp, as it just looks better. Once you're happy with how everything looks, you then need to return the color opacity and blending options back to normal before you save. The reason for this is we are going to change those in Final Cut. Now this part is very important. We will be saving the files as PNGs. You do not want to save them as JPEGs. If you save them as a JPEG, it saves the whole image, including the background, and you won't be able to use that and drop it in on your video. So bear that in mind, you are saving a PNG. One PNG will show the posterior deltoids, the other PNG will show both the medial and anterior deltoids. The reason we are doing two separate files is so that we can have two separate blending options and opacity on each of those PNGs. We are going to stack them on top of each other, that way they play at the same time. And the next thing we need to do is change the blending options. So again, we're going to use the soft light and we're going to drop the opacity to show the difference between the anterior and medial and the posterior deltoids. Okay, so we've completed the face pulls. We now need to highlight the traps for the shrugs. The main muscle that we are trying to target is the upper traps. So what we are going to do is we are going to highlight the lower, mid and upper traps. And again, we're going to mess around with the colors to show the difference in what is being worked most. So the lower traps will be the lightest, the middle traps will be slightly darker, and the upper traps will be the darkest, showing that this is the muscle that we are trying to target. Again, like I said, if there are any mistakes, just use the eraser to clean up the edges and give it more of a softer edge that looks a lot better when it blends. So here you can see me just flicking through to see how it looks without the background image, and it looks awesome. So I'm ready to save these PNGs, and again I'm going to save them separately. I'm going to save the lower, the middle and upper traps all separate. Unlike the face pulls, I'm going to show you something that's quite clever and does work really well with the video and make the video a little bit more dynamic. I'm going to stagger when the lower, middle and upper traps are highlighted so that they all go on beat, and it's going to look great. And that is it. We are saving the video and we are done. Let's watch it back and see how it all plays through. Okay, so I re-edited this video just to show you guys how to highlight the muscles, but it is on my Instagram. So again, guys, check out my Instagram. I've got plenty of videos where I teach you how to do different exercises and to target different muscle groups. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. Bada boom, bada bing. And that is it. Guys, there's something I want to share with you that I didn't share with you at the beginning because I didn't want to bore you. You know, some of you that just came here to learn the skill, I wanted to get straight on with the skill and I didn't want to bore you, so I got straight to it. But there is something I want to share with you because a lot of you guys are going to be wondering, you know, where did you get the skills to use Photoshop or to use Final Cut? And I've not shared a lot of my background other than the basics. You know, a lot of you know that I was a PT. A lot of you know that I worked in finance for like a few years, studied accounting. But you don't know, a lot of you, that I studied graphic design, some of you. Like, I studied graphic design in college. And the skills that I learned in graphic design have been, it's so important in my career, in terms of being able to bring my ideas into fruition immediately without having to send it off to someone. And by that, what I mean is, when it came to designing my ebooks, the first things I ever put out, I designed them. So I wrote them, obviously, and designed them, I put them out. When it came to building my website, I designed it and I put it out without having to send it off to a designer to put together for me or pay a designer. So I was very fortunate in having the design skills that I learned. You know, it really did come into play with my career, you know, and things like Final Cut and web design. So when I was in college, I learned graphic design. The things like web design and Final Cut, etc., I taught myself. You have to be able to teach yourself. You have to be able to learn. And there's so many avenues, like Skillshare, like I shared with you guys at the beginning. There are many avenues that you can use to learn techniques and learn skills that will benefit your life. And whether that's design, whether it's photography, everything, you need to just learn as much as you can, implement it into your own work so that you can provide the best quality at a lower level, and then as you get bigger, you can start to employ people to do these things for you. But it is best if you know these skills yourself. So I thought I'd just share that with you guys, my background. So yeah, I actually was a freelance graphic designer for a while, which saved me when I was really struggling, you know. So and I was able to do some freelance work to get some money, you know. So thought I'd share that with you guys. I appreciate you guys. I might do an actual video on my background. If you guys if you're interested in that, let me know and I'll do it. And I'll just talk about you know, because obviously I've given you a video telling you how I came up with my training. I haven't given you a video on how I managed to do quite well with the social media and stuff, you know. So I think a video on the background of that would be good. So let me know if you want to see that. I appreciate you guys. Guys, as I said, my Instagram is full of training content. That's it. You know, so if you're interested in training, follow my Instagram. You know, I post plenty of training content. So I appreciate you, man. And I think that's about it before I keep rabbiting on. Peace.